I'm here with Peter Coleman. He is the Managing Director and CEO of Woodside Energy. Peter, a million thanks for you taking the time to talk to us. Looking ahead for the next decade, what's things looking like for you right now?
Pretty rosy for us. We've got a lot of growth projects underway. We've just gone to FID on one in Senegal, our Sangomar project, very pleased with that. Later in the year we'll be hopefully going to FID on a large project in Australia called Scarborough, and then we'll go to FEED on Browse. So we've got a lot of projects we're moving along the pipeline, so it's a pretty rosy decade ahead of us. Now, of course, the challenging or troubling waters for us is going to be market and price, so we'll see where that goes.
And of course that market volatility, that unpredictability, in fact much uncertainty there's been in the last few years. I guess it's just part and parcel of the industry. It's something you have to, you can't quite plan for it, but you have to be ready for it.
You do have to be ready for it. We're in a commodity industry, so we don't drive demand, we don't create demand. What we have to do is get our product to the market at a market bearable price, so the market itself will grow and it will take up our product. From a planning point of view, every company's got to look at the capital requirements, what they've got in front of them. We keep cash available in the bank for that to make sure that we go through these little dips in pricing and so forth over time. But it's just part of the business, you've got to plan for it.
Now, technology has made a huge difference to this industry over the last few years. Well, it's always made a difference. I mean, this is a very high-tech industry in many ways too, but I think accelerated perhaps in the last few years. Digitalization coming on board, new ideas, innovation, creativity even coming into this sector. Tell me a little bit about how, again, the change is actually, moving the industry along, perhaps, hopefully in a quicker, faster, better, more sustainable way.
Well, I see two technology paths. One is the traditional oil and gas technology path. So it's always been an industry that's prided itself on its use of technology and the research that we put into that. But that typically has a cycle time of 5 to 7 years for adoption of that technology. We're now seeing what we call this kind of new technology, which is contemporary technology, which is things like data analytics, artificial intelligence, robotics, 3D printing and so forth. That has a different time cycle on it, and so that's a less than 2 years. That keeps changing. So it's actually forcing the industry in a very positive way to change our decision frames, the times in which we make decisions and so forth. Now the big challenge for us is being able to grab hold of it, because we've always been data rich and analysis poor. And the question, the challenge and the opportunity for industry is our leadership ready for it? Our young people are ready for it. They come in savvy. They're technology savvy when they come in. But is our leadership truly ready for it? And I think that's a challenge everybody has to think about.
And indeed, this is an industry that's been collecting data for years, but as you say too, data rich, analysis poor. Are you hoping that's shifting? Are you seeing it shifting? I mean, is it something that absolutely positively has to happen?
Well, I think it has to happen, and we as a company have really taken that leap of faith. So we've gone completely artificial intelligence in all of our operations. Data analytics is just core to what we do now, and so we've been doing that now for a few years. That was something we started back in 2013 as we started to see this wave changing. So for us, we've already made that decision. It's an imperative. For others, they've got to make their own choices.
Talk to me about how important it is to be in Saudi Arabia. This is the first IPTC that has come here. They've been eager to bring it here. A lot of work has gone into it, obviously, and they're very proud to have it here. But also, it's a great time for Saudi. It's a new year. It's when Saudi Aramco has, launched its IPO. The country's changing. I mean, there's almost a great symbolism of this great conference coming here as well.
Well, it's a tremendous time to be in the kingdom, and there's a real buzz around the conference. If you go into the exhibition centre, for example, it's a real buzz. So it kind of takes me back 20 or 30 years to the OTCs in Houston and so forth. So it's really pleasing to see the commitment of people and how much energy is here. The kingdom's had a pretty challenging 2019 to get through. Firstly with the attacks on the facilities, and as you said, the IPO, and they've all gone very well. I mean, the recovery from the attacks was really unbelievable. I think it set world-class standards in that. And of course the IPO got away and achieved the target pricing, which is all you can ask for.
So, and again, they've managed to bring it back here, again. So obviously Saudi Arabia and Saudi Aramco being very serious about this technical conference, which is, of course, for all of the industry players, such a big conference, IPTC.
Yeah, I think that's a tremendous thing too. You can see that commitment by it coming back, and the fact that it's coming back means people can now plan for it. So they'll make new friends, new colleagues as they come to this particular conference, they'll learn a little bit more about Saudi Arabia, which is a positive thing. They'll probably stay here a bit longer next time and so forth. So I think if you can kind of get some repetition and people start to get used to coming back and enjoy the hospitality and the food and the people, this is going to be one of those ones we put in our calendar every other year to come back to.
Super. We leave it there. Thank you so much for taking the time. Thank you.
Pleasure. Thank you.